I think there's so much Photoshop on the stuff he shares.
You know the it looks bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Well,
That's
speaking
not
of
me.
which, did you see?
It looked bad? No. I didn't look at it really.
Chill.
I feel like I'm obligated to say that, yeah, you're blocking it.
You can still look at it.
Chill.
I'm trying to think of like favorite tattoos, man. Shit.
Let me just look in my brain real quick.
On myself or other people?
No, it could be one you've seen, it could be one you've done, it could be one on you.
Robert Hernandez.
Yeah.
Always gonna be my favorite. Yes!
Her
Look
arms.
at this, look what how beautiful it is. Yeah, he's always gonna be my favorite.
Yeah, he kills it.
He's like the freehand master.
Yeah.
Love it. And we're like very similar in art style, I feel like, so it's like kind of inspiring to me.
I think this tattooer, Black Minimal, she did this tattoo. It was of a black woman's face, but when you turn the image in negative, that's when you see the black woman's face. Otherwise, it just looks like this very lightly shaded face. But all these black tones come through, this hair comes through, and it's this like the most magical thing I've ever seen. It's so good, and it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It doesn't feel like a negative image gimmick. I don't know how she did that. There's like this weird blend from the top of the forehead to the hair. It's so perfect and magical, and I absolutely love it. And I've loved it for a long time. That's got to be one that sits far above everybody else, because not only the technical ability is great, but the idea behind it is so good.
I don't even know her name, actually. But the page is Animal Tattooer, and there is one with a snake that she did on someone's thigh. And I just feel like the colors and the detail of the snake are they just pop out so much that I was just mesmerized by it. I usually do black and gray, but for some reason, she was just like a huge inspiration. Like if she could put these colors on someone, then maybe I can too.
My favorite tattoo artist of all time is Stephen Moore. I want him to do my back so badly, so if you guys can hook that up, please make it happen. He has this piece that I want taken off of that body and put on my body. Like literally, I'll skin them and I'll put it on my shoulders and we'll sew it on. But it's like it's a knight against a tree. He's all dead and fallen and whatever, and there's a ghost coming out of his mouth, and there's like these trees and the moon. But on the thighs, like on the back of the thighs, there's like these rings of swords, and they're like they're red and yellow, while the knight is like all blues and like golds and stuff. Oh, it's so wildly awesome. Every time I see it, I'm just like, that should be on me. This is my tattoo. Somebody stole it, and I don't appreciate it.
In Hanky Panky's book, 1000 Tattoos from Taschen Books, there's this Philip Liu back piece of a wizard that he did back in, I guess maybe it might have been the 80s. That is one of my favorite tattoos of all time. I mean, Philip Liu is like my #1 favorite tattoo artist of all time.
Philip Liu's back pieces are like maybe the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, they technically are really good tattoos, but if you put them next to things that are happening now and all kinds of stuff, they're not as like detailed or technical or whatever. It was the fact that he could do it in like a day, man. He like finished a full back in a day. He started using big mags. He sat back, instead of everybody being all down up, sat back and broad strokes, big fast, you know what I mean? Like got huge, it's the scale. He's the one that pushed scale.
I love BB Rung's work entirely, and Tazen. They are incredible, and I feel like all of their tattoos are my favorite, and I sincerely hope they see this because I like your It's really good. Thank you. Thanks for that. You know what I mean? It's really good. I feel like a lot of their work has like a lot of cool illustrative blackwork stuff, which is like super inspiring to me because I like to do illustrative blackwork stuff. So it's a good mess of inspiration. To see someone pull off those techniques in that way is really cool. And again, like a reason why I feel like tattoo is such a way of like expressing yourself, so.
So we can obviously give like shout outs with that one. I would say, I mean, first off, every anime tattoo that this bitch does, Tokyo Ghoul specifically, I mean, we've been friends each of our whole careers, so I've definitely like watched her work progress through all the years, and I just think like she's just so in her pocket, you know. She just figured out early on she's gonna do things her way, and definitely like respected from the jump.
I'm gonna go with my snake.
I have a snake tattooed on me.
I made that Amelia ink on Instagram. Could you show it real quick?
Oh. It's a whole thing. You can see it on Instagram. It's nice butt too. And yeah. So we made it, well, Amelia tattooed it. We made it sort of together and it's a bunch of middle fingers.
The tattoos I did, I would say. So there is a few which I feel it's like almost like a statement at my tattoo career. I will mention few. I don't know if you know giraffe, the tattoo of giraffe I did. So this tattoo, based on this tattoo, I became first and only woman in the world whose tattoos are certified as contemporary fine art by the Macro Museum in Rome. So it's really a statement piece, so very important for my career. It's definitely one of my favorite tattoos, and then of course some other of my works. But it's always what some tattoos I never forget, like this one, I have some elephants there, mostly animals and flower designs. So that is the most important to me, and also I love them the most because they are artistically, the originality, uniqueness of the designs, it is just highly, highly recognizable. And I don't think so somebody can copy it actually.
I'm having trouble choosing, there's so many good ones.
I feel like I can pick favorites within different genres of tattooing.
It's easy for me to think of categories, but it's hard for me to come up with like a specific favorite tattoo of all time.
I don't know that I have one. I could nail it down to just one tattoo.
It's so tough to say one, especially with how much is out there these days. Like, even if you got it down to a style and it was like black and gray realism, what's your favorite? Like, I couldn't tell you. If you're like neo-traditional, what's your favorite? I couldn't tell you. Like, it's even an artist. Like, what's your favorite this artist has done? I can't tell you, because it changes every day. Every day it changes.
It would be hard for me to nail down one fine art painting out of all of the masters. So, I mean, if you ask me what's my favorite tattoo, that would also be hard for me to nail down, like one tattoo that I love. It might be something recently that I did that I'm extremely excited about, you know, but this is the time when I'll be sitting, you know, on the train later and I'm like, damn it, yeah, that's the one.
There's just so many. There's so many like that I've seen, and there's so many I'm sure that I haven't seen, you know, that are amazing. I mean, the things that people do with the skin is just wild.
Yeah, there's so many people out there doing museum quality artwork on skin, and that's like every fucking day. So it changes. Like, I'll see a new one, I'll be like, wow, that's fucking sick. Like, I couldn't say like this was my favorite ever.
If I answer that question, I would say like my favorite on me, because it has a meaning, you know. So it is this one. That is like my grandma, that she lives like 100 years, so it has like an emotional thing, you know. I'm that kind of like basic bitch. That is like, yeah, it's my grandmother, so it's so important for me. And I don't know, I love it. It's kind of old and still looking great, so that's kind of like my favorite one.
I also like I don't think we've had anyone with a mohawk refer to themselves as a basic bitch before.
Yeah, I know, it's like,
Oh.
English is my second language.
That's a really hard question. That's like asking what my favorite Pokemon is.
Well,
I don't know. Well, it depends. It depends on if it's for battle or if it's for looks. I really like Suicune because he's cool. And I really like Spinda because most people don't know what it is. But he's just this stupid little panda with like squiggles for eyes. And he spins constantly like a drunk. And what I like about him is the chances of finding two Spindas with the exact same patterns are like you're actually more likely to win the lottery, because in the game they have so many different patterns on them, and RNGesus doesn't really like to let those patterns repeat, and so it's like nearly impossible to find two Spindas with the same like spot pattern, and it's even more impossible to find two shiny Spindas with the same spot pattern. Like, you won't, not in your lifetime.